Hey, Blackhawks, we're now looking at part two, finding windows and problem solving. Read the problem to yourself as I read it aloud. Chuck, a bird enthusiast, I even drew a bird right here just to really nail the point home, who does research for the bird industry, which you may not have known exists, but it does, models the population B of Blackhawks T days after the start of the year with this function right here. Okay. So the first thing you're going to need to do is type this function in. And as you're doing it, please do this with care. You want to make sure that you have 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros after the decimal point right here, and that you've typed everything else incorrectly. As you're saying that, I'm noticing that I kind of goofed right here. Second insert, I'm going to add a plus sign. Okay, so I'm going to assume that you've got that ready to go. And then let's take a look at the problem. It says use the table feature to complete this table. So we want T to be, let's see, what are the units on T here? Is the reason number of days since the beginning of the year. So after 0 days, 100 days, 200, 300, 400 days. And an easy way to do this would be to hit table set. That's second table set. And we're going to start at 0, and we're moving by 100s. If you enter it this way, you'll get these numbers. Second table. All right, so on day 0, there are 124 birds. And after 100 days, there are 279 birds. And after 200 days, there are 364 birds. It's going up. But then after 300 days, there are only 289 birds. It's going down. And after 400 days, there are negative 36 birds. Now, I know what you're saying to yourself, Mr. Klein. How do you get negative 36 birds? And the answer to that question is you don't. This doesn't make a whole lot of sense. At some point between 300 and 400 days, the number of birds dropped to 0. Okay. Now, there's a reason I'm asking you to make this table, and that's because the table is the tool that will help you find the window that you need. So as I'm looking at this, seems like obviously we need to start with an x min of 0. And that's because x is time, and time can't get any earlier than 0. Now for the x max, we want to be able to see the bird population go up and then come back down, right? So we know that if we go out to 400 for our max, we're going to be able to see it come all the way down to 0. Now for the y min and max, we should probably make sure that we can see the y-axis. And so for the minimum, I'm going to pick a number that is smaller than 0, something like negative 50. And then for the maximum, the biggest number on here is 364. So I'm going to go something that is bigger than that. Could go 370, could go 380, could go 390. I don't know. I'm going to go 450. Why? I don't know. I just want to make sure that I catch the whole graph. So in here, let's change the minimum to 0 and the maximum to 400. And then the minimum to negative 50 and the max to 450. And then once you've got those 4 numbers entered, let's hit the graph. And there she is in all her beauty. We're going to draw a picture of this graph. Boom, boom, bum, 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 bum. Bum, 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 bum. And you are always, when you draw a graph in my class, required to label what is the x-axis. So T is the days since the start of the year. And then y is the b of t, which is the number of birds. And we look at the graph, it goes up and then it goes down. So it looks something like this. Cool. All right. Now let's use this graph to answer some questions about the bird population. I want to know the three important points, which are right here at the maximum, and right here. So let's go get those. The way we're going to find each one of them is going to be different. The first one is going to be just plug in the x value right there, which is 0. So second calc value 0. Once again, that was second calc number 1 value. Enter 0, and that would be 0 comma 124. And oh, didn't we already know that because we filled out the table right here? Right. Okay. Oh, this is very important. I got to color in the bird's beak. Much better. All right, let's continue. Next thing we need is the maximum. So we're going to go second calc. I'm assuming you're kind of a pro at this sort of thing now. So left bound is somewhere, I don't know, over there. Right bound is, there's the max. I'm passing over it. Now I am on the right there. And a guess would be right there. So our maximum is at 212 days with 365 birds. And then the last number right here is when y is 0. And so you're going to get that by selecting number 2, 0. Left bound. Oh, let me try that again. Left bound. Right bound. Oh, fun fact, if I don't want to move the cursor all the way over here, I can type in 400 as my right bound. And oh, I got it. It's right there. And now I can make my guess. And that is at day 392. There's no birds. If there ever were birds, birds aren't real. Find what the maximum Black Hawk population is and when it occurs. Oh, well, this is easy. We already did this work. So it would be right here. There were 365 birds. Birds are the Y value. On day 212. Boom, boom. I'm going to actually skip E for a second and go to F. It says, assume this model continues to be accurate. When will the Black Hawk population become extinct? Well, that would happen when B of T is equal to 0. And you know what? We already found that. It was on day 392. So after 392 days. Cool. So we got that one. Let's come back to E. E says the National Wildlife Service wants to contain the Black Hawk population to below 350 because too many birds make lots of messes. During what time interval will the National Wildlife Service take action to reduce the Black Hawk population? So what we need to do for this problem is come back to the graph, and it says that they are going to take action whenever the bird population is bigger than 365. Now, right here it was, bigger than 350. Now, right here, smaller than 350, right? Right here, bigger than 350. So 350 is going to be somewhere up here. This is where birds equals 350. So what we need to do is determine these two times. We want the time right here and the time right here. The calculator will find this for you as well. Here's how you do it. You go to y equals, and you go to y2, you type in 350. Once you've done so, you hit the graph button, and you will see boom, 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 boom. That 350 line is going to cross our line. We need to find these 2 points of intersection. And that brings us to the last calculator skill for today. If you go second, calc, and then you select number 5, intersection. Calculator is going to say first curve, you hit enter. Second curve, now you can see I'm on the 350 line. I'm going to hit enter. Guess, move close to the one you want, and then hit enter. This is day 168. And then calc, let's do it again. First curve, let's see, which one am I on? you can actually toggle back and forth, so it doesn't matter. Now I'm on the bird curve, enter, and then second curve, now I'm on the line, and then it's going to ask me for a guess. I hit enter, 253. So answer to question E. During what time interval will the National Wildlife Service take action? From day 168 to day 253. All right, that's it for calculator school. I want to make sure you know how to do this stuff. So you now need to turn to this page, complete this problem on your own, and then bring it up and have it checked by your teacher.